Up losing, do some high flying, unique moves, lose the match, and that was my character and persona. So I was getting like real bored. It's just really not fulfilled coming into work. Just I knew what was going to happen. I didn't really know who I was going to face, but I knew what the match was going to be. And then I was like, and they asked me to join this group. They asked me if I was interested. A group of guys who like were disgruntled with their positions with the company, and I was like 100%. And the thing was that we were going to be bad guys. We were going to be heels, little vernacular heels.
Putting the air quotes on
for
right
those, now. Yeah. And I was all about it because I wanted to have a change in my career. Number one, and then number two, to be able to use whatever kind of like I guess influence or like possession status that I had to be able to kind of like help you guys out as well.
Yeah, we need to
if I like I said, like everybody's had, I've had like great moments, and I want like my dream is to have everybody have like great moments because you always have people who are like here and they're disgruntled with the way things are. And to me, that's so sad because this is supposed to be the best job in the world. So anything I can do to like promote that is definitely like my goal. So I was all about it, and then. More importantly, to meet two guys who I consider to be my brothers, it's amazing that we like crossed paths in that way. Because if you didn't have the idea of forming a new day, we would have been cool, but we wouldn't have had like this. I'm getting goosebumps. Like thinking about it, and I'll probably say that a lot because I'm a goosebumps guy.
very, very.
But yeah, I'm just always so appreciative of that. To not only have met two guys to where we actually have actual fun. You know what I'm saying? Like this, when we got together, that's when I knew that the fun was real. Yeah. I love you guys, man.
Oh,
I love y'all. Love you too.
E, what you got?
The year was 1986, the day March 1st. Your boy ripped out the womb. I got told my little two paws. But I ripped through the womb and I jettisoned out. But you want to skip the early years?
Well, I mean, whatever you feel is relevant.
Okay, let's skip to when I was 23, the year 2009. We always, and I've been told this many times, we do this typically when someone asks about our origin, we tell Kobe's story and Woods' story, and how you guys just were so defiant and always told us you're too small, and just all these obstacles placed in your way. And it's such a great motivational story about never saying quit and pushing through. And then I go last typically, and I tell the story of being some failed meathead football player loser, just a real loser who strode in with his big popping pecs and said, "Is this where y'all do the wrestling?" And they gave me a job. That's how it went down. That's exactly how it went down. I knew nothing about the business. So I watched as a kid, but I knew nothing. I didn't aspire to do this. I just walked in. I walked my big pants in. Yeah, I said, I need this job y'all got. I need this $500 a week, because that's how much it used to be. Yeah, $500 a week. Yeah, they used to get it done, that worked. Anyways, yeah, I was very appreciative of the job. It was startling isn't the right word. It's jarring to go from an athletic standpoint previously to now becoming a pro wrestler. And one of the most unsettling parts for me was how do you deal with being in front of an audience in essentially your underwear and like getting their attention, especially when you know nothing about wrestling, when you're just learning. I love when people ask me to get nervous about performing at WrestleMania. There's so many people, and I think across the board it's easier for us because it's just a sea of people. Yeah. What's startling is when you're in Stark, Florida, in front of a dozen people, and no one knows who you are or cares who you are, and you have to somehow entertain them, and you can hear everyone's separate conversations, and you're suddenly aware
Hey, Kim.
that you're half naked, and I kind of got these love handles, and I shouldn't be in front
Nothing. Playing the Division 2 and listening to.
That was my early career. But anyways, I was
That's
fortunate
cool.
enough to finally eventually pick up the business and start to kind of understand things. I got to NXT, and the very first match in Full Sail history that no one will ever see besides people in that arena was me versus Javier Woods.
What a match.
Yeah.
It was, I think it was a 3-minute dark match.
Who won that match? Don't worry about it. Who won that match?
No one
The
asked.
people won that match.
Yeah. But that was not a strange episode, but it was interesting to be there.
Well, apparently I had to start over because I forget to upload my save. So yeah,
Just try to get people off the ground and try to figure out who are the stars. But anyways, it's just I need to
but
get
it's not that bad.
We'll get into this.
I don't remember, but it's not that bad. I actually rather enjoy the game. So
and it worked really well. Let's gloss over that.
Job given, podcast given, New Day given. Real hard to get there.
Let's come back to that. Let's come back to that. But anyways, I spent a good year and a half on the main roster, floundering, and I think it was kind of the across the board. All three of us, we were floundering. I think is the best way to put it. I always felt like we were all three of us were very talented, but for the New Day, we were doing next.
I see title run.
I had the IC title run well, and then I ran into
yeah.
Wade Barrett, who almost ruined my career because he was this real hot heel at the time, super hot with the news bear.
So
And just to
I'm just a smidge pissed off at Ford.
great.
Okay, well, you know how I've been into ESO a lot more here lately. Well, I'm part of a guild. Last night, the guild leader actually made me third in charge, so I have a lot more responsibilities, right? You know, I need to organize activities. I try to tell Ford this. You know what he does? He laughs at me. He goes, "Oh, you've been given a lot of responsibility." I'm like, "What does that mean?"
But no one really cared, and they had this short little match.
It's like he thought it was a joke or something.
And he's just on the sizzle,
Yeah,
heckling them, some of that dancing you do.
yeah. And that-
Dancing you do. I'm getting the Bravo signal anyway, but this is very long.
Exactly, and in fact, I figured he might be proud of me because I actually worked very hard to get where I'm at. I mean, you know, there's like,
We skipped so much. Let's come back to that. Let's come back to it. I was get along with it.
Oh, okay. So I'll recap. So Kofi.
I understand that.
Title victories,
And
tag team championship.
well, that's why I said I was a smidge. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and harp on him or be completely pissed off and stop talking to him. I'm not gonna do that.
Let's move on. Let's talk about that, man. That was one of my points.
Killing it.
You know, I really hope I don't get copyrighted strike for playing the New Day podcast during my stream, but oh well.
Wrestled at New Japan for like one shot and then got signed while.
You'd be surprised about what WWE does. So
Everybody's telling me constantly, "Oh, you got to do something to differentiate yourself." It's like we already have a Kofi. We have a Kofi. And so in the story that Kofi was telling, us coming to Kofi was actually one of the harder things for me to do because my whole career tried to separate myself from Kofi because I was always told, "Okay, we have a high energy black guy. You need to be something completely different." And when I made it to the main roster, I was anything. I got put to an angle with Brodus Clay, where I eventually stole his theme music and then the Funky Dactyls. And it was just weird because it was kind of run its course, and then they tried to give it to me. But in the backstory of the Funkasaurus, when it was given to Brodus, Brodus tried to convince him to give it to me because we'd run these practice matches so they could figure out how he's gonna do all these dancing moves, and they made us do them 4 weeks in a row because every time we said the match, they said, "Oh no, Woods is like doing this."
so I bought some new games today.
Thing at the time, and Brodus is like, "Well, give it to him."
Far Cry Primal, Far Cry 4,
You can have this.
and that's it.
Wait, after you
So
guys milked it for all the money with the merchandise,
they were,
everything you could do with it in the ring,
yeah,
everything
they were on sale pretty cheap.
I get it.
Like Far Cry Primal, Far Cry 4 was only like $6. So
And then it was R-Truth's friend.
I think I spent a little bit more on
R-Truth's friend.
Apex because I think it was like the digital edition or some shit like that.
Came out to Rusev, where Rusev beat me up before he had the match with
And then I eventually want to buy a fucking Far Cry 5 Gold Edition because that's actually on sale right now. So I just didn't have enough to like buy that one. So
It was supposed to be the new nation of domination.
No, not when I first brought it to you. That was what I said in the writer's room thing.
Right.
But then that's not the idea that I went with three of them.
What was it with the real? I
This
thought
guy?
it was militant.
It was disgruntled. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the difference between like us and the nation was that we weren't promoting any kind of like, you know, racial anything. It was just legitimately being like,
I thought we were trying to dance around it. We were pronouncing thinly veiled.
I was not.
I think it was like aggressive. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I can understand it's like there's maybe like shades of it because our shade is brown.
Right.
And so people were like, "Oh man, domination." I was like, "You never called the whites the goblins."
Right.
And that's like the same thing.
And then I think when people started trying to like label it, we took it upon ourselves to be like, no, you don't get to tell us what it is. We're gonna make
no, that's what's getting them more.
The nation thing thing is the first thing that you pitch. But then
And see, something like Warzone needs to learn from Fortnite, like change shit every season. Don't, I mean, by what I've seen, the map is changing, so.
Like the incarnation. They didn't know this. Exactly. Exactly.
No, like the whole like orbital satellites are falling down on the map. Have you not seen the trailer?
How dare you make that?
Well, I don't know if it was great at the time.
Well,
To be honest.
to me, it was all I had.
You need to watch the trailer because apparently fucking orbital satellites are falling on the map and it's creating like big old like craters in the map.
More dishes, more flushes,
No, I'm not. I'm not. I don't. Not a big fan of like
concerts.
fighting games like that, like Mortal Kombat.
After 50 years of Encores, Mr. Rooter Plumbing Service professionals are equipped to handle anything.
No,
Your neighbor you can call
but
anytime.
sure, other people.
Because we've been here all along. Mr. Rooter Plumbing, a neighborly company. Visit MrRooter.com today.
I mean,
So I sat and thought about it for a few weeks.
I'm just playing the Division too.
This idea that we had in development called the Plan. It was the People's Liberation of American Nationalism. It was me, E, Saxton, and Abe Washington. You know, it's kind of an evolved thought of that, but it was essentially people who were not happy with
I don't know.
wanted more from themselves and from their jobs. So that's when I went and talked to E about it, and we kind of shot a bunch of different things.
Are we in the party together?
Back and forth ideas, and that's when it really hit me. Like,
Oh,
none of this is really
I don't know.
working. None of it is really working. I was like, I think we need a third person for this to actually work. And he's like, who? And I was like, I think we need to get Kofi. For me, like I said, it was like, this is either gonna absolutely destroy my career or it's gonna be the best thing ever. So that's when we went and talked to you, and you were down, and then that's when the hustle started.
Honestly, I'm surprised they're not selling. They could sell better over here, especially with all the shit that's going on with the Xbox Game Pass. They could sell a lot better over here.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, that's
Just
where
got
that
like a
story is.
flashback of it, like me sitting on that crate, and you guys both coming up to me and explaining this whole idea, and I'm just like, we can make this work, you know?
But I remember having a conversation with you, Wood, beforehand.
Oh, I believe it. And the person that's involved for that is probably Kenny. He feels like, oh, we need a video game. We need a video game. No, you don't. And plus, on top of that, you don't need to be making 3 at the same time.
Right. That's how it was. 14.